friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today, we're going to talk more about hospitality. Last time, we talked about how it's important to be present and not have it be stressful, to enjoy the time with your guests, and then to have plans for what kind of meals you could make so that it's not stressful. You plan a lot in advance. We talked about having laughter and warmth and helping people feel welcome, involving your children in the decorating and in the cooking, and focusing on your connection with people, prepping ahead, making it fun for kids too, and then knowing how to welcome your kids, having some kind of treats in the freezer, micro hospitality, etc. So today we're going to talk about what you can do for food when you have guests over. You can do a tea or a dessert evening, but if you're doing a full meal, we're going to give you some ideas of what's easy, what works, and what you can do without stress. First, let's talk about Italian night. So that would be any kind of pasta. And if you prepare, say, 3 kinds of pasta, a penne, a spaghetti, and one other, and then some toppings, then everybody can build their own meal, and it's really easy. So you could do a ham and cheese sauce. You could do a bolognese sauce. You could do a tomato veg sauce like a marinara, and then have cheese, grated cheese for on top. Perhaps you'll have a salad or a garlic bread, and people usually ask what they can bring. So somebody could bring garlic bread to heat, somebody could bring a salad, and then it's really easy for you to put together. You can do the sauces in advance, keep them in the fridge. So that'll be the meat sauce or the veg sauce or the cheese type sauce. And then you can do the pasta just before, and it's all really easy. For your decor, you could have a red and white tablecloth with green napkins, or green and white with red. You could use red and white with some greenery from the garden. Anything to just make it fun. Also have a little plate of Parmigiano Reggiano that people can grate over their pasta on their own with the grater next to it. Anything that makes it simple and that makes it fun for people. It always breaks the ice to have a build your own meal type of evening. Then you could do a taco night or a Mexican night. You could use soft tacos, corn tacos, hard tacos, whatever you like, or just your favorite wraps. And then bowls of toppings. So mince with beans or chili. You could do grated cheese, lettuce, tomato. You can have some salsa. You could have sour cream, or we even use yogurt sometimes for those who don't like the sour cream as much. And just have everything ready. Have the taco bases or even some different options out for people to choose. And here again, you can do the mince and things in advance, and then your kids can be involved putting the small side dishes out. You can use bright colored tablecloths, some festive music to give a mini fiesta vibe. And you can even have a little competition for the kids where they name their own taco creations. Also, your kids can help maybe label your toppings or to serve drinks. So this is really easy on the host. Then build your own burger night. So somebody's going to be on the grill, whether it's dad or one of your oldest sons. And you can have different types of burgers. You could have beef burgers. You could do chicken, marinated chicken burgers, or crumb chicken that you can get from the grocery store quite easily. And then you could have different types of rolls, sourdough rolls, and then sesame rolls. And then your toppings, of course. So salady things like tomato, herbs or lettuce, onion, cucumber, maybe bacon. You can have different sauces like tomato sauce, mustard, or even cheese sauce. Any kind of mayonnaise that you like. You could do pickles. Anything that you enjoy, I'm sure your guests will enjoy. And then perhaps some chips on the side, and you can just get these as a takeout or do them in the oven from the grocery store to have your side of chips. And then you don't have to stress about that. Also, you could do some caramelized onions, whatever people enjoy on burgers. Then another fun option for having people over is a grill night. Everybody could bring their own meat, or you could do chicken kebabs, veggie kebabs. You could do a kind of bread on a stick. You can look up a recipe, or baked potatoes in the grill wrapped in foil. You could do Greek chicken or burgers, and then people could bring salads, again, garlic bread. Do it outdoors, have some fun music, some kids' games, and that's more relaxed. Once you're outside, try not to go inside too much, and then you'll enjoy it with your guests. Obviously, in all these meals, you want to have drinks ready, so you can have some in your cupboard and ask them to bring some, and then it's easy. And it's also good to build up a bit of a stock of nice glasses for when you have guests, or paper cups that you can write names on for kids. Perhaps some nice outdoor plates and things for if you're having a grill. Whatever you like to decorate your table with. If you're going to be having guests over often, it's great to have a bit of a stock of those, and also paper napkins that are pretty. Then you could do a dessert for dinner night, or just a dessert after your meal. And it's great to have toppings. Everybody loves to add toppings. So the simplest one, of course, is ice cream, or some kind of pudding, like a chocolate pudding, milky one. And then you just add your toppings. So you could have the chocolate vermicelli that you put on top of a cake, or rainbow sprinkles, M&Ms or Smarties, marshmallows, baby marshmallows, chocolate chips, even a bit of fruit like banana or strawberries. And then there's coconut, whatever you can think of, and everybody adds their own. Kids can go wild. You can have some whipped cream to squeeze on top. That's guaranteed to be a hit with the kids. Not sure about the moms. Then on a cold winter evening, you could create a bit of hygge. How do you say the word? The Danish hygge. And have blankets out, have some fresh homemade bread or sourdough, and then a couple of options of soup, maybe a vegetable soup and a meat soup, or whatever kinds of soup you enjoy. That's very easy because the soup can be made in advance and then just heated. You can get your bread or make your bread in advance, or your dinner rolls. Have some soft music, blankets out and places to snuggle, some games, some lovely butter, and whatever makes you feel cozy and comfortable. So you want to make these meals truly your go-tos, like have 2 or 3 that you like to rotate, where you already know the shopping list. You don't have to overthink it. Your kids kind of know the rhythm and help more each time. So these are more casual options. And then you could do a fancier meal, a seated meal. As I mentioned in the previous episode, doing something with courses is always fun, and it slows things down and it helps with the good conversation and all that. So choose an easy vegetable appetizer. You could use halloumi cheese with it to spice it up, or just use a few different items. You don't have to do a whole salad, but maybe a little bit of cherry tomatoes and olives and pieces of cucumber, or you could do salad kebabs with those on them. Just something simple. Then your mains would be your meat. You could do a roast chicken with crispy skin and bacon on top, with a nice gravy and roast potatoes. Or you could do a simple chicken curry and rice, something that your family enjoys, that you make easily, and that's fun. And then once it's part of a meal of courses, it always upgrades it a little bit. And then either buy or make an easy dessert. You could do an apple crumble, or a peach cobbler, or just plain ice cream, or the ice cream bar. So just plan in advance what meals are easy for you and they don't have too many dishes or too much time. And then plan to enjoy the evening, plan to be relaxed and not stressed, and plan to have fun with your guests. I hope you're feeling inspired about hospitality. I certainly am. I'd like to do more of that soon. And once you get into the groove, then it becomes easier and easier. Thanks for listening today. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.